Good evening to all. This is Carla Thornton McLean. How's everyone doing this wonderful evening? This is another recording, guys, for Sunday. I'm actually recording it right now on Sunday, but I wanted to talk to you all about this is going to be the number 6 reason that holds us back from creating life changes. Okay, so this is a recording. You will actually will be seeing this tomorrow. I said we were finishing up this week. This is number 6, so we have the 2 more reasons that holds us back from creating those positive life changes. Okay, number 6 reason is fear of disappointment and failure. Okay. Some of us are afraid of failing, that we live our life by not trying something due to fear of failing. In other words, is some of us won't even try to do certain things in life that can actually elevate us to the next level in our lives, or some goals or dreams that we have simply because of disappointment or being a disappointment, whether it's to yourself or to others, or being a failure. Okay, so we go through life not trying something due to the fear of failing. Okay, when we allow fear to consume us, though, when we allow that fear to consume us, then we lose some major opportunities in life, guys. In other words, is you'll be missing a lot of your blessings, your opportunities, if you will. Okay, that fear will consume you to where you are just paralyzed. Okay, and you won't ever move forward in life and never get to that next level where you're supposed to be. Okay, so let's talk about what causes fear, and why do we allow these toxic thoughts to consume us. Okay, we all have our definitions, first of all, of failure. Okay, all of us have different definitions of failure because we all have different values and belief systems. Okay, an example, one person might see something as a failure while another person simply sees it as a learning experience. And we all really need to actually get to that point in life that whether we're a disappointment to ourselves, or we feel like we're disappointment to others. In other words, is we all should see those as a learning experience. Okay, what not to do, okay, in life, or something that actually didn't work. It's okay. Okay. Fear of failure. Another word, I'm sorry, bear with me, you guys. Another word, and you actually might hear someone use this word, is atychiphobia. Okay, atychiphobia, if I'm pronouncing it right. Okay, and it's another word for fear of failure, meaning fear of failure is when we allow that fear to stop us from doing the things that can move us forward to achieve our goals in life. Okay, so once again, when you're having fear of failure, and when you have that means when you allow that fear to stop you from doing the things that can move you forward to achieve your goals in life. Okay, so in other words, it paralyzes you to the point to where you won't move forward. Okay, you won't grow, if you will. You be stagnated. You won't elevate. You won't move forward to what you actually need to be doing in life. Okay, fear of failure, disappointment can be from several different reasons. This is just a couple of them, and you'll notice I realized that a lot of these was similar to the last one that I actually just went over, fear of not belief in self and self-confidence. And if you pay attention to these videos, you'll know they all go hand in hand. One of these was an unsupportive system, an unsupportive parents or loved one that has always humiliated or belittled or undermined an individual during their childhood. Okay. If you remember and you watched my last video, when we were talking about not having belief in yourself, it's that low self-confidence. That was actually one of them, if you remember, that played a part in why a person feels that way. And again, it's in falling underneath for this reason, number 6, the fear of disappointment and failure. Okay. So just that fact alone an unsupportive system, if you paying attention, you will realize it can actually carry a lot of different negative emotions with a person, like you say, well long after their childhood, even into their adulthood, okay? A traumatic life experience, okay, whether during your childhood or even in your grown-up life, okay? And an event in one's life where the experience left a person feeling they did an awful job. So it left that individual afraid of failing or being a disappointment in his or her life. In other words, an example is maybe when you was younger, even in your adulthood, like life, maybe you had a presentation that you did in front of a large group, and you felt like, in other words, that you did an awful job, or someone criticized you or critique your presentation, or someone or a loved one or someone said it to you to make you feel that way, or you felt that way yourself, that I could have did a better job, I failed at that presentation, or felt like it was a disappointment to yourself in regards to that presentation. In other words, and if you had that life experience, it actually can prevent you from moving forward in life, maybe even fearful, or even doing another presentation, or even standing in front of a large group, okay? Now let's talk about tips on how to not be afraid of failure or disappointment, or how not to be afraid of failure or disappointment. Some tips, okay? Review all potential outcomes. Most of us experience the fear of failure or disappointment due to the fear of the unknown. I'll read that again. Most of us experience the fear of failure or disappointment due to the fear of the unknown. How many times have you said to yourself, or you heard someone say, well, I don't know. I don't know what'll happen. I don't know what the outcome's going to be. So because it's unknown to that individual, that can actually prevent them from moving forward in life as well, okay? But what you can do is remove that fear by considering all potential outcomes, okay? Meaning go over all the potential outcomes, okay? And then it might actually not seem that bad to you once you, well, like I said, review all the potential outcomes, okay? Thinking positively, okay? Always thinking positive. In other words, removing that negative thinking, okay? A powerful way to build self-confidence, we just went over that video, and prevent self-sabotage, okay? So in other words, is thinking positive, having that self-talk. If you remember, we talked about in the last video as well, having that self-talk, but that self-talk, positive self-talk, okay? Not negative talk to yourself, okay? Go over worst case scenarios, kind of similar to the one I actually just said, reviewing all potential outcomes. Some cases are the worst case scenario that can be detrimental and may warrant resistance to fear of failure. Get that, okay? In other words, let's use an example of fear of failure. I'm have a fear of, like I say, heights. I'm not crazy about being like really high up, okay? But it warrants a resistance to the fear of failure of heights, because you actually can fall and die. In other words, it can be detrimental to your life, okay? But in other cases, the worst case scenario may not be that bad, and becoming aware of this fact may help. In other words, you might actually go with some loved one or some friends. I know my fiance had mentioned it too, talk about bungee jumping or whatever. Some people and everything, like I said, is different. And I'm like, oh, really? Wow, you want to do that? But once again, if a person actually tries it, or if you try it, or maybe even trust a loved one and go do something with a loved one that you might be fearful of, and they might actually not be, might be a little easier. And then you can be aware that, like I said, it's actually not that bad, okay? So going over worst case scenarios, okay? Summary bonus. We must not allow fear or disappointment to consume us from moving forward. Otherwise, we miss out on life and great opportunities. I'm going to read that again. We must not allow fear or disappointment to consume us from moving forward. Otherwise, we miss out on life and great opportunities will pass you by, okay? There are several causes of fear or disappointment, from childhood experiences to personal mistakes in our adult lives. The most important rule to remember is we always have a choice, and we always have a choice, and we can choose to be afraid, or choose not to be. Okay, so once again, the important rule is we always have a choice. We can choose to be afraid or choose not to be. Okay. Set small goals to help you build your confidence. Okay. Evaluate all possible outcomes and have a replacement plan. I was actually laughing about this because me and my sister-in-law used to talk about this all the time, where, you know, sometimes you hear people say, well, that's all right. Plan A don't work. I have plan B. So in other words, it removes all that feeling of being a failure, or feeling of being disappointing, whether it's to yourself or others. In other words, or disappointing yourself. But the bottom line is, she and I was laughing because I told her, I said, well, over my life, I learned that you can't just have a plan B. But I noticed even with myself, it removed all that stress as well when you start thinking and saying, you know what, that's okay. If plan A don't work, I have a plan B. Plan B don't work, I have a plan C or D. In other words, she and I made a joke out of it, but we were serious about going through the alphabet. But what we were saying is, because like I said, the old saying was just, plan A don't work, don't worry about it, have a plan B. But you learn in life, it depends on, like I said, what your belief system says and what values are. That, because sometimes you might be a person say, well, plan A don't work, that's fine, I have a plan B, and stop there. And then once again, if plan B don't work, then when you find yourself, oh, okay, I feel as a failure, or I feel like I'm disappointed. But you got to remember, there are a lot of things in life, and once again, you hear practice makes perfect with anything. You have to do it over and actually over and over and over again. Okay, so you can't feel that way. So if something doesn't work, you can't give up and say, okay, I'm a failure. Oh my God, I'll be a big disappointment to yourself. No, or others. Don't do that. Keep trying. So once again, how you say have a replacement, I wouldn't say plan, I would say plans, if you will. Practice positive thinking. And then, my friend, you'll be on your way to overcoming the fear of failure and disappointment. Okay. Practice positive thinking. And then, my friend, you will be on your way to overcoming the fear of failure and disappointment. In other words, and that's something daily, you guys. In other words, what I'm going over with you all, how you say, people say easily said than done. This is something that, why they say you have to do daily. It's not something you do once a week, once a month, once a year. It doesn't work that way. When I say it's something you have to practice daily, then it becomes part of your DNA, and it becomes a part of you. Okay, it becomes second nature. Okay. Failure can teach us things about ourselves that we would never have learned otherwise. That is true. Read that one again. Failure can teach us things about ourselves that we would never have learned otherwise. Okay. Valuable insights come only after a failure. Valuable insights come only after a failure. Accepting and learning from those insights is key to succeeding in life. Read that again. Accepting and learning from those insights is key to succeeding in life. Okay, to overcoming your fears, my dear friend, and disappointment. Okay, once again, I am going to go over this very, very quickly. We were talking about the number 6 reason that holds us back from creating positive life changes, fear of disappointment and failure. Okay, and I'm going to go over the tips real quick on how not to be afraid of failure and disappointment. Review all potential outcomes. Think positively. Think positive. Or in other words, practice that self-talk. Get rid of the negative talk and practice self-positive talk and thinking. Okay. Go over worst case scenarios, you guys. Once again, go over worst case scenarios. Okay. And once again, we must not allow fear or disappointment to consume us from moving forward. Otherwise, we miss out on life and great opportunities. Okay, you guys, that's all I actually have. This is, like I said, another recording that I actually did tonight. You all will actually be seeing this replay tomorrow. Definitely feel free to reach out to me if you actually, it's a new year coming up, the end of the year. If you are wanting, instead of, how you say, if you want to be proactive, instead of waiting until next year to start, and you're actually ready to start your transformation in regards to creating positive life changing. In other words, if you want to create a positive atmosphere for yourself, why not start now? Okay, so feel free to actually reach out to me, and you can always go to my scheduler. I do have a schedule, and I can actually send it to you. And how you say, just sign up to have a free consultation to see if you want to actually just how you say, have a good fit for each other, and start working on that now, you guys. Okay, we don't actually have to wait, like I said, to the beginning of the year. Why not start now? Okay, so feel free to reach out to me, a direct message. And I always tell you, always, I have my email I always include my emails, my social platforms, or you can actually call me, leave a message, and then that way I can actually get my calendar sent out to you, where you can schedule that free consultation and actually see if you are even ready, like you said, to go on and start now. I'm still waiting to the new year for your transformation in regards to creating, how you say, positive life changes and being able to stick with them. Okay. For your positive life change and your personal transformation, my dear friend, have a blessed evening. Tomorrow you all be watching the replay. So I would say in advance, have a marvelous Monday, and I'll be talking to you all soon. And be seeing you all again this week. Bye for now.